Hi everyone, happy Sunday to you. So this video was inspired based off of a conversation that I had earlier today with a complete stranger. And I was sitting at the coffee shop doing my work, and this girl sat next to me and she said, "Do you mind if I ask you a couple questions about happiness and what the word happiness means to you?" And I kind of smiled because truly that is what a charmed journey, how it began in the first place, was my own internal, journey, introspection into what is happiness for me. And since we are all on our own individual journey, it means something to everyone. So we all have our own process. But the process that I went through is the message that I'm sharing with you today. And when she asked me what my definition of happiness is, I can honestly say it was the day that I decided to accept who I am and to appreciate who I am and to respect who I am, was the day that not only changed my life, but it changed people's lives around me. Because then I could accept and honor and respect who they are. So that was like the greatest gift of all into understanding my own happiness, is the acceptance, accepting who I am. And then she asked me, well, what are the steps that you took? And while I can't say that there are any particular steps into seeking your own happiness, I do remember the turning point in my life. And it was the day that I was forced to get really honest with myself, like brutally honest. And it was the day that I looked into the mirror and I didn't recognize the face staring back at me. And I knew, well, something's got to change. So I asked myself the question, I looked into my eyes and I said, who are you, first and foremost? And then I said, what are your priorities? What are your core values? And are you living according to your core values? And in recognizing that I wasn't, I decided to change my life. And that also meant that I was going to change the experiences that I was having and the people that were in my life as well. So I became very conscious on who I spent my time with and where I was devoting my words and my thoughts and my actions. And I became very self-aware of doing the things that support who I am. And with that, moved me in a direction that not only gave me a huge sense of happiness, but also fulfilled my soul and gave me an immense amount of joy. So the next thing that came with that, or was actually that coincides with it, is responsibility. I chose to take 100% responsibility for my life. I no longer depended on anybody outside of myself to give me happiness, because happiness was a choice, and I knew it was a choice. So I wasn't dependent upon their actions, what they said, what they didn't say, what they did, what they didn't do. None of it. I chose how I was going to respond to any and all situations. And with that, I could stand in my authentic power. I wasn't giving my power away to somebody else. And that truly gave me a sense of happiness. And number 3, I learned this years ago. My mother gave me these words of wisdom. She says, you give. And you give to whoever or whatever is in front of you. And if they need help, you give what you can. So I really didn't get that concept until I got that concept. Because there was a time in my life when I had money and I could give money, and there was a time in my life when I only had time, so I gave my time. But whatever it was, I gave what I could to whomever I could if they needed it and they were in front of me at that moment. So whether it was a compliment or if it was dinner or a cup of coffee, whatever it was, I gave. But what I discovered is that, you know what? I couldn't give enough away, really. Because what I gave away came back 1,000 times in blessings. So then I began making it a point to give. Like I would wake up and say, well, God, how can I give today? And it was amazing on what showed up and what continues to show up. because what I give to others doesn't even compare to the miracles that I can experience today. So thanks so much for watching. I hope this message inspired you, and I look forward to talking to you soon.